Hey, what's up? This is Casey with another episode of the show I don't have a name for. I'm still wearing this gray collared shirt because I'm still teaching about TOEIC. And today I'm going to teach about part 5 and part 6. Now, this is the real scary chunk of the TOEIC speaking test. The TOEIC speaking test is a standardized test, kind of, for ESL, English as a Second Language learners. Right now, the students are going to hear a story for question 5, and question 6 are pretty similar. But the thing that makes this test so difficult is the speakers use different accents. So maybe question 1, they might be English. Question 2, they might be American. Question number 3, they might be from South Africa. Question 4, who knows? The English speakers might talk very fast. They might talk funny. They might pronounce words wrong. So it's very stressful for these students. And that, some of the words our students don't know, or maybe it's just not translatable. So question 5 or part 5 of this test is you're going to have a solution, okay? So imagine somebody calls you on the phone and there's a problem, okay? I ordered something in the mail, it still isn't here. My toilet is broken. There's a tiger in my house. What should I do? Okay. And your first job is try to remember the person's name. That's not the most important thing, but that's one of your first jobs. Your second job is, what is the problem? They're going to say some blah, 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 blah. What's the problem? Okay. The third thing is, what's the solution? So number 1, what's the name? Number 2, what's the problem? Number 3, what's the solution? So I'm going to read these just because the other ones go too fast or too stupid. Hello, this is Tom Paxton. I went to the jazz concert in the Chicago Stadium yesterday. When I arrived, I gave my coat to one of your staff, and I saw him hang it on the clothes rack before the concert started. After the concert, which was terrific, by the way, your staff gave me what I thought was my coat, and I came home. The next morning, to my surprise, I found out that the coat wasn't mine. It's the same brand, color, and size, but there was a wallet and an ID with this coat, and they were not mine. Perhaps there was some confusion by your staff. I work downtown, and I am keeping the coat with me, but I can't afford the time to go back to the stadium and try to exchange this coat for me. Would it be possible for you to help me out? If at all possible, I would like to get my coat back for an important meeting this evening. My number is 555-246-5987. Thank you. So you have 15 seconds to think and 1 minute to talk. So it goes boop. You have 15 seconds to think, to prepare. Boop. Hello, Tom. This is Casey from the Foundry. I really hope that we can fix this situation. I understand that you lost your coat at the Foundry. What I'm going to do is, I understand that you're really busy and you want your coat back for your meeting. So what I'll do is I'll have somebody take a cab and we can try to exchange these coats, okay? And you can keep talking, but I think we solved the problem. The problem was this guy grabbed the wrong coat. The solution, maybe we can exchange the coats. Another thing I try to do is I try to tell my students, lie, make something up. But this is hard for the students because they're not really used to lying. They're not really used to making things up. So lie, tell a story. Okay, let's do one more. Hello, this is Thomas Jenkins from the marketing department up on the 3rd floor. Next week, all of the public transportation workers are supposed to go on strike in the city. I would like to suggest as a result that we put out some sort of carpool list. Since your department, the communications department, handles all the in-house communications, I thought perhaps I should check in with you and collaborate with you to make the carpool list. Please let me know what you think of the idea and if I could help in any way. Again, this is Thomas Jenkins and my extension is 729. Ugh. So this one is really tough because there are some words my students did not understand. They did not understand what a strike was. Okay, they understood what a bowling strike was. They understood what a baseball strike was, but like a working strike, like we had a public transportation strike. They didn't really understand that. A carpool, they didn't really understand what a carpool was. In-house communications, they didn't really understand what the heck that was either. Also, this is something you would do at a business. My students are 18 and 19 and 20. They don't have any experience at a business yet. So what's the problem? The problem is there's going to be a strike. So what's our solution? You can say, hi, Thomas. This is Casey from the Colorado Daily. It looks like we're going to have problems with everybody trying to get to work tomorrow or next week. Next week, everybody's going on strike for the public transportation. So what we're going to do is we'll do a carpool. I'll send out Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff. And I'll also just make sure to put posters out for everybody and they can just sign up. And whoever has a car we'll just hopefully give them free parking and free hamburgers for our next barbecue or whatever. Okay. So you got to be creative for this. And again, this is tough for my students. All right. Especially because they didn't know what these words meant. All right. Then the last part. This is part 6, and this is it. All right. So this is where they ask you your opinion. What is your thinking? All right. What are your ideas? And again, this might be tough because they don't have an opinion on this stuff, or they don't know what this stuff is. They use different language for this. All right. There isn't really a right or wrong answer. The wrong answer is just sitting there going, okay. In your opinion, okay, so this is question 11. This is the opinion question. This is the last question on the test. In your opinion, which of the following do you think has had the biggest impact on modern society? Smartphones, social networking sites, or instant messaging? Give specific reasons or examples to support your opinion. The most important thing about this is specific, okay? Specific. So my students had a hard time being specific, okay? What is something specific? If I said, I think smartphones are the most important, had the biggest impact on modern society, what's specific? Well, now, look, everybody's got an iPhone or a galaxy or something or other, and they take photos all the time, and they're on, it just has completely changed how people interact, blah, 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 blah. Social networking sites. It started with one site and went to another site. Next thing you know, everybody bases because of how many Instagram likes you get. That's how you base your your self-esteem. I'm going to be specific. I only get 5 viewers on YouTube, so my self-esteem is really low. Instant messaging. Okay, my students didn't even know what that was. I had to kind of explain it was like text messaging. Okay, so, and that's kind of passe because nobody really does that anymore. So, they do it, but it's just called a different thing. Okay, let's do one more, call it a day. Some people think that it is better to stay in the same workplace, while other people prefer to work at various workplaces. What are your thoughts and why? Use specific reasons or examples to support your opinion. Again, this is a hard question because my students have never had jobs before. Some Korean students don't get summer jobs just because they spend most of the summertime studying, or they get a summer job at McDonald's or something. So this is a question you ask a 25-year-old, not a 17 or 18-year-old. So what do you think? Is it better to stay at the same workplace while others prefer to work at various workplaces? So there is no wrong answer. There is no right answer. The only wrong answer is just going, So they give you 15 seconds to think, 1 minute to talk. So you could say, I prefer to try multiple different workplaces just because I want to see what I like the best. Once I find the thing that I like the best, then that's what I'm going to stay at the most. And then you can keep talking. You don't have to fill the entire time. I think it's the best to fill the entire time, but just talking just to hear yourself talk is probably not the best. You could say, my first job, I worked at, I mowed lawns, but I didn't really like to mow lawns. And then I was a barber. I didn't like to be a barber. And then I started cooking French fries, and I loved cooking French fries. So I decided I wanted to work in a restaurant. Okay. So I hope you never have to take the TOEIC exam. I hope you learn something from these little helpful tips and tricks for taking the TOEIC exam. If you have any questions about English as a second language, how to take the TOEIC, please just shoot me a message. I'll be happy to answer. And, send a like, send something else. You're the best. Thanks. Bye.